Okay, so I accidentally hit a button right after the Gubaza pack. See what ID does to me. And it caused my video to restart. So we're restarting again after the Gubaza pack. So this is going to have to be a two-part video, I guess. That's how we're going to work this. Gum is out of there. And now we get Lee Lacy. So I guess I won't be able to do this on a Manic Monday because there's no way to do a split video like that. I'll do a part 1 and a part 2. Here's George Brett, another Hall of Famer, and another repeat. Again, centering right to left, not very good. John Candelaria, there's Billy Buckner. Ryan Downing, Gary Matthews, Ken Daly. Garth Orge, UL Washington. Bruce Bochy, the retired manager of the Giants. Kent Herbeck. Steve Bedrosian. Glenn Wilson, and there's Rock Raines. Finish it off with the Hall of Famer Rock Raines, and you see he's got a little ding on his card there. Centering, not too bad, but I did have a little ding up there. Okay, apologize for trying to re-angle the camera. When I did that, it turned the video off. Don't know why, because I'm doing it on my camera and not through the YouTube app, and maybe that's why it did it, because I wanted to be able to pause to set up for the gum chewing. So, all right, here we go. Ron Guidry, All-Star. Chris Brown. Larry Sheets, George Frazier. Used to love those classic Oriole uniforms. Harold Reynolds of MLB fame, MLB Channel fame. Bo Diaz. Bill Lasky. Floyd Rayford. Joe Hesketh. Bobby Castillo. Nick Esaski. Bobby Valentine. Out of costume. Warren Brewstar, Zane Smith, and Carney Lansford. Move on. Next pack. So what I probably am doing is I was going to do the White Sox game today and then do this for Manic Monday, but I think I'm just going to flip them and do the White Sox game for Manic Monday. Another Pete Rose, Aurelio Lopez, Steve Buechele, Ron Reynolds, Candy Maldonado, another checklist. Cal Ripken All-Star. Denny Martinez, Bud Black, Glenn Hubbard, Oral Hershiser, Larry Parrish, Donnie Moore, Thad Bosley, and Tim Tuffle. And just so I don't forget, whoops. I knew I was going to do that. Banged right into my camera. Sorry about that. Fix this back. I was going to say, just before, so I won't forget, I am going to take one of these packs and put them over here. And that is my gum pack. So I want to make sure I don't accidentally go through the video and forget to keep one pack to the side. So that is my gum chewing pack. All right. Storm Davis, Pete Vukovich, Willie Randolph. Really like how the Yankee cards look in this particular setup with the white and black. It just kind of seems to go naturally with them. Just my observation. Bill Madlock, Joe Niekro, Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer. Forgot about Wade Boggs. This is probably his third-year card, but still nice to have. It is off-centered, but it's a nice picture. Wade Boggs in '86. Only hit 368. He didn't really do anything. He just hit 368. So, Dwight Evans, Gary Lavelle, Pete Filson, Rick Russell, Carlton Fisk, another Hall of Famer. Again, probably a little off-centered. Thornton, Jerry Mumphrey, Ray Searage, who I believe is a pitching coach, and Tom Lasorda, Bleeding Dodger Blue. Let's see what we get here. All right, we got Shelby, Sample, Higuera, Brian Little, Scott Garrelts, Cecil Cooper, Al Oliver, and he's on a borderline Hall of Fame basis. People think if Baines got in, he should get in. Larry McWilliams, Jimmy Wynn, Lloyd Mosby, Andre Robertson, Brett Butler, one of the best bunters I've ever seen, Jim Gott, along with Jay Bell, Jim Gott, Jerry Narron, and Joaquin Andujar. We're working our way down. I don't want to make this go too long. All right. Steve Trout, Rick Really Big Shoe, Rich Gedman, George Bell. That was a hot card back in the day. He had just started out hitting home runs. Bob Baylor, Joe Beckwith, Walt Terrell, Ed Whitson, who couldn't pitch in New York for whatever reason. Brad Kamensk, a big Braves prospect that never panned out. Saw him play in Richmond quite a bit back in the 80s. And in Richmond in 83, he had 24 home runs and 103 RBIs and hit 334. Thought he was going to be the next, Dale Murphy or something, but just didn't pan out. Mike Davis, Larry Sorensen. There's Reggie, Hall of Famer, Reggie Jackson. Well off-centered, but it's okay. Harry Spillman, Bob Gibson, not the Bob Gibson from St. Louis, and Ed Nunez. All right, we're working our way down. And we have Harold Reynolds again. Bo Diaz, looks like Tommy Herr sliding in. Bill Lasky, Tom Herr All-Star. Mike Cottier, John McNamara again. The Hitman Mike Easler, Butch Weiniger, Mark Salas, Lou Thornton, Luis Aguayo, Ed Vandenberg, Jesse Barfield, another big power hitter back in the 80s, but didn't last long. And Greg Crocodile Brock finishes out the pack. So we're winding our way down. I know everybody's going to fast forward to the gum part, but that's okay. Can't help that. Hopefully you'll watch the whole thing. All right, Walt Terrell, Storm Davis, Pete Vukovich, Willie Randolph, Bill Madlock, Joe Niekro. There's another Wade Boggs. That's a good one. Second Wade Boggs. So obviously these packs were not searched. It is off-centered though. Like I said, I don't think you'd want to search an 86 Topps. Wouldn't be anything to search. Here's Gossage. Now, if you're talking about 86 Flea or a Donruss, that's a different story. But the Topps, no. The production was just so great that there'd be no reason to do that. All right. Still haven't found the Mattingly or the Clemens or the Puckett. Those are the three that I'm really looking for. I haven't found those yet, but there's still some packs to go. So all hope is not lost. Here's Carlton Fisk, Ernie Macho Camacho, Steve Henderson, Don Sutton, Hall of Famer, famous ball scuffer allegedly, Rupert Jones, Jack Howell, Gary Carter, All-Star, Billy Hatcher, Randy Bush, Greg Walker, Keith Moreland, Bob Dernier, Sammy Khalifa, Dave Parker, borderline Hall of Famer, and Ken Schramm. There are some that think Parker should be in the Hall. All right, Mike Lacoste, Rick Miller, Brian Fisher, George Hendrick. There is somebody in our community that is a George Hendrick, I wouldn't say hater, but they give him a hard time, so I'll put him over there with Gubaza for ID. There's Bob Gritch, so in case he's watching. George Foster, Larry Anderson, Marvell Wynn, Mike Boddicker, Brian Snyder, Jay Johnstone, Ron Hassey, Kurt Wilkerson. Born in Petersburg, Virginia. I knew that name from somewhere. Home is in Sutherland, which is right down the street from me. Paul Zuvella and Bob Forsch. Alrighty. All-Star, Gary Carter again. Shelby, Sample, Chris Brown, Ron Guidry All-Star. George Frazier, Larry Sheets. You can see all kinds of duplicates coming. Mike Mason, Ken Landreau, Frank Viola would have been a good card to have back in '86. Dickie Thon, he was just coming into his own. Dave Kingman, Dwight Gooden, he's on the box. So obviously in '86 that would have been a good chase card to have. Dwight Gooden is probably close to a common right now. second year card, I guess. 84 update was his rookie, and 85 tops was his normal. So the doctor, he's made a house call. Here's Willie Wilson and Mike Heath. So back in 86, obviously Boggs and Gooden would have been hot ones to have, so you wouldn't have been too disappointed, although you really were looking for this Mattingly. Here's Anderson, Trout, Shue, Rich Gedman, George Bell, Bob Baylor, Joe Beckwith, Ricky Horton, here's a Who, Greg Harris, Jackie Moore, Bill Stein, George Vukovich, Tony Pena, solid catcher, Ray Knight, and Denny Walling. So we're winding our way down. Got about 8 packs left, plus the gum pack, so thank you for sticking with me. Sorry about the 2 different videos. It's a snafu on my part. Can't go back and fix it, obviously. Collins, Charlie Lee, I can't wrap these back up and redo them, so I'm just, I used to be able to put 2 videos together on YouTube in the studio thing, but I haven't figured out how to do that anymore. So if I can figure out how to do it, I'll do it, but I doubt I can do it. It's Charlie Lee, Mickey Tettleton, Tony Perez, Rich Thompson, Jim the Hound Dog Presley. Boy, that's way off center. Look at that. It's almost, the Mariners is almost off the chart here. Ron Guidry, Bob Clark, Scott Thompson, Al Holland, Bruce Hurst, a Gooden All-Star, Ron Washington, Ken Griffey Sr., and Rick Sutcliffe. Moseying on along. Their gum just fell right out of that one. Let's see what we get now. We just finished with Sutcliffe. We start this pack with Sutcliffe. There is Fisk, Ernie Camacho, Steve Henderson, Don Sutton, Hall of Famer, Rupert Jones, Jack Howell. There's the original Pete Rose card. No, card number 1, and that was always the big one to have in any set, was card number 1. So there it is. Pete Rose card number 1. Actually pretty good shape. Pretty good centering. A little bit too much to the left, maybe 55-45, but not too bad. I am not a card expert by any means. Bruce Benedict, Jerry Willard, Rich Dower, Barbaro Garbe, Mike Smithson, Chris Spire, and Bill Gullickson. Winding our way down. I think there's 6 packs plus the gum pack. So all those are waiting with bated breath. I have a few more packs to go. And what I'm going to have to do is, when I get to that pack, I'm going to pause the video and move the camera so I can be on camera, and then you can actually see me chew it, because you can't see me chew it from behind the camera. Burrows, Mario Duncan, Teddy Higuera. That was a hot card to have at this time of the year because he had a great year in 85 and 86. Brian Little, Scott Garrelts, Cecil Cooper, Al Oliver, Bob Boone, Bob Melvin, Tom Browning, John Wathen. There he is for Jabs. John Wathen actually got a smudge on the end there. So how about that? John Wathen even got messed up. Guillermo, don't call me Willie Hernandez. Doyle Alexander, Joe Orsulak, the Slack Man, and Danny Heap. As we wind our way down. Alrighty. Clint Hurdle, Brooke Jacoby, Frank Eufema, Dick Ruffin, Julio Franco, Dan Pasqua, Tim Corcoran, Daryl Porter, Al Oliver again. We're getting a lot of Al Oliver cards. Mike Lacoste, Rick Miller, Brian Fisher, another George Hendrick. We'll put him over there. Bobby Grich and George Foster. Okay, 4 packs left plus the gum pack as we've hit the bottom of the box here. Hope the gum in this pack is looking as good as the gums in the other packs. Still got that pink color, and usually most are intact. Ricky Henderson All-Star. Vida Blue, Craig Lefferts, Marty Barrett, Don Mattingly All-Star. Nelson Simmons, R.J. Reynolds, Jose Cruz, Lynn Jones, Schatzeder, Glenn Davis. I bought a whole slew of Glenn Davis cards back in 1986 thinking he was going to be the next best thing. He had a couple good years and then faded very much, but I bought a whole bunch of his cards for a dime back in 1986. Probably about 20 of them, but they're probably worth about a nickel now. Dale Berra, Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer. Put him over there. Fisher and Jason Thompson. All right, 3 more packs to go. And we are still looking for the Puckett, Mattingly, or Clemens cards. We can find them. Jack Percani, Jeff Burrows, Mario Duncan, Teddy Guerra, Brian Little, Scott Garrelt, Cecil Cooper, Rick Camp, that's a new one, Glenn Brummer, Manny Lee, Greg Nettles, Dave Don't LaPointe, Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, put him over there, Doug Flynn, and Gene Mock. So our chances of getting a Clemens, Mattingly, or a Puckett seem to be dwindling pretty fast. But I've had fun, so that's more important, I guess. Terry Leach, Floyd Bannister, although I'd like to have those cards. Here's Whitaker, who's kind of borderline Hall of Fame. Bob Ebony Eyes Welch, Tom Foley, Kelvin Chapman, Jack Perconti, Mike Scioscia, Pat Corrales, Ernie Riles, Tom Tellman, Dick Williams, manager card, Concepcion. And I've got a case for Concepcion to make the Hall of Fame. I mean, I looked at his stats versus Pee Wee Reese and Phil Rizzuto, and it's not even close. I mean, if those two were in, he should definitely be in. And you got Fry and Van Gorder. Maybe I'll do a comparison video one of these days. But Concepcion, if those two were in, Concepcion should definitely be in, based on what he did for the Big Red Machine. Their consistent shortstop for years. About 72 on to 86, I think he was the shortstop, till Barry Larkin took over. Here's R.J. Reynolds, Scott Thompson, Al Holland, Bruce Hurst, Dwight Gooden, All-Star, Washington, Griffey, Strawberry. That's the first Strawberry we've had. He was a hot card back in the day, not so much now. Harold Baines, the most recent Hall of Famer. Harold Baines, put him over there. Jimmy Key, Dave Righetti, nice card to have back in the day. He was just getting those saves. There's the Mattingly card. It finally showed up in 2 packs from the end. A little bit off-centered, but not in the greater scheme of things, not all that bad, actually. Looks to be in pretty decent shape. Look at that card. Look at all those italics numbers. 1985, 33 homers, 145 RBIs. To me, in the 80s, he was the Sandy Koufax of hitters. I mean, he had a 4 or 5 year dominant period where he was just so dominant. I think he belongs in the Hall. That's just me. Mickey Hatcher, Ozzie Guillen, Ricky Henderson. So how about that? 2 Yankee big cards near the end. And that's it for the box. So what I need to do is take all these commons and put them back in the box so I don't lose my place of where they are. So I'll do that real quick. And then clear off the table. And then look at what we actually got in the wax box as far as hits, if you want to call it a hit. We got our Gubaza and our George Hendricks, 2 George Hendricks and a Gubaza, so that's for the FOC. We got all these All-Star cards, and I'm not sure. I was never really a big fan of the All-Star cards, but you know, I guess they're okay if you like that sort of thing. And let's do a recap. Well, first of all, let's move all this garbage out of the way because it's too cluttered for me to do anything. So let's move this out of the way. And I've still got one more pack to open too. So not just the gum part, but just see what's in the pack. Maybe we'll get a decent card. Maybe we'll get a Kirby Puckett or a Clemens. So let's look at what we got out of the things so far. We got a Ricky Henderson, a Don Mattingly. In fact, I'm going to sleeve the Mattingly right now before I forget. I don't want to get that damaged. So we'll sleeve the Mattingly. So there's the Mattingly, and that's in pretty good shape, I think, for a Mattingly card. 1986 Topps. Okay, and we got Ricky Henderson, Harold Baines, Raleigh Fingers, Trammell, Rose, Sutton, Gooden, Sutton again, Gossage, Boggs, Jackson, Fisk, another Boggs, Raines, Brett, Schmidt, Sandberg, Fielder, Blyleven, another Schmidt, Tony Gwynn, Lee Smith, Dykstra, Winfield, Fielder, Blyleven, Rice, Smith, Murray, Ripken, and Yount. So a lot of Hall of Famers. If you're looking for Hall of Famers, this is a good set. If you're looking for rookies, it's not so much. All right, I'm going to pause the video, rearrange the way things are set up so I can be seen on camera, and then we'll get to that last pack. Okay, I guess this is the moment of truth. I can't see the camera because I'm in front of it, so I'm hoping I'm on camera. Take my glasses off, don't need them on. So I'm hoping I'm on camera, and this is the final pack of the 1986 Topps. And the gum, we'll see what happens to the gum. Hope it's in good shape. It is in good shape, fortunately, so we'll put that right there. Let's look at the cards first of all, see what's in there, if anybody's any good. We got Gary Pettis, Lee Mazzilli, Gary Templeton, Von Hayes, Rich Hebner, Dave Bergman. At least there's some different cards here. Shane Raleigh, Ken Oberkfell, Dwight Evans, Lee Lacy, Dave Von Olen. This is George Brett, so that's another Hall of Famer I put over there. John Candelaria, Bill Buckner, and Brian 10 Downing Street. So let's get those back in here. Put Brett in here with the Hall of Famer side. And now we're ready to go. So this is what was promised. I'm going to go ahead and break that in half. Take this piece. I'll take both pieces actually. There you go. I don't know if you can hear the sound effects or not. It actually still has some taste to it. Not bad. But I may end up swallowing this because this is disintegrating in my mouth. And it did. It's practically gone now. I mean, there's nothing there. It was chewing this like candy. It's gone. It's gone, folks. It's all out of there. So hopefully I won't have any medical problems. I don't think I will. The big hit, of course, that I found was the Don Mattingly. If you want to call that a hit. Kind of hard to say it's a hit when it's probably not that, worth of a card. But growing up and collecting in '86, this was the one everybody was chasing back then. So it's nice to find it. Go with the one I already had. So now I've got two of them. So that's always a nice thing. So I'll keep those with my 1986 collection in this box. I've got a whole lot of other 86s, but these two I'm going to keep right there on top so I have it. And I appreciate you putting up with me for all this. And you can see, I'll bring this up, all the garbage from all the... I'm not going to chew any more of the gum. No way. In fact, I need to go drink some water now to wash this stuff down with. I've got a powdery taste in my mouth. So the person who sent it to me obviously packed it up very well conditioned. The cards were in good condition other than being off center, which he couldn't help. Does look like these cards came through without any kind of searching whatsoever. So that was all good there. Fun time had by all. I really wanted to do this, as a live thing, but YouTube's not letting me do it live just yet. And also wanted to do it as a premiere, but I had a snafu with my camera right in the middle of recording things. So what are you going to do? But again, appreciate you all tuning in and watching. You did see me eat the gum. I wanted to keep my word, say I was going to eat the gum or chew the gum. I didn't plan on eating the gum. I was going to chew it, but the gum had other ideas as it disintegrated while I was chewing it. So don't try that at home, kiddos. But I did this once, and I probably will never do it again. But I said I was going to do it, so I did it. And also wanted to say hi to everybody out there in the card collecting community, as well as the board game collecting or board game playing community. Get my other stuff here if I can find it. I probably can't find it. I don't remember where I put it. Maybe it's over here. Here it goes. Don't forget, also the 1976 White Sox replay is going on. I have already recorded game 67. I plan on doing that for Manic Monday. This video here, I'm not sure if I'm going to post this before or after this game, so I don't know. You know, I don't want to give away what happened because I don't know which order I'm going to do it in yet. But again, that is going on in Stratomatic. But that's all that's going on right now. I try to break it up between board games and baseball cards. Of course, I got more board gaming cards than I got baseball cards, so I got to kind of sparse these out. But this one I wanted to do especially because of the 1,000 subscriber thing. So hopefully YouTube will eventually let me go live. I think it's like a waiting period. They got to review your channel and make sure you're not doing anything weird or whatever. But once that's all done, then I'll be all set to go. So I appreciate you all tuning in, and until next time, I will see you all down the road.